Anyways, we had a little glitch there at the beginning, but joining me right now is UFC flyweight Manel Kape. Manel has won 5 of his last 6 fights, and if he fights like he did in Tampa against Bruno Silva, we're not going to call him Starboy. We're going to call him Superstar Boy because Manel, that was an unbelievable performance. Welcome, appreciate you. How you been, my friend?
I've been good. Thank you so much. I appreciate for the invitement to be here. That's good.
Big fight for you coming up against Brandon Royval on March 1st at Apex in Las Vegas. We will get to that in a second, but I want to go back to that Silva fight because, it reminded me of 4 or 5 years earlier when you came into the UFC and there was all this hype around you. People were talking about how great this guy was. This could be the next champion and everything, and we haven't really seen that all the time out of you. That Silva fight, that win, that was the Manel Cop that we thought we were going to see. Why did it take you so long to kind of get your sea legs?
Oh, it takes so long because I had so many cancellations in the last years and on the fight, so I couldn't fight. I couldn't show my skills, and I believe on the beginning was just adaptation of the styles, the ring and the octagon. But this Manel that people always hope always be there. He was always there. Never shy, never surrender. He will always be there. Waiting, hungry, very hungry, waiting to show the animal, to show everything, the energy inside me.
I think people should know a couple things. When you came to the UFC, you were coming off a win over Kai Asakura in Ryzen, and Kai just fought for the title. And then your first UFC fight was against the now champion, Alexander Pantoja. And that also was during the pandemic. Did the pandemic, impact you in any way? I know it impacted different people in different ways in terms of your preparation, in terms of you being as good as you could be when you got to the UFC to fight Pantoja. Did it have any impact?
Of course, the pandemic impacted many things. I didn't have so many trainings. It was in AKA in San Jose, and all the gyms was shut down, and many people didn't show up to trainings. Was kind of difficult. Was my first year in America too. But you know, like I say, like I always think, things happen for a reason. Was a learning, was a experience. Was all these things that we never know what's going on next day. But uh, glad we are here. In a good position.
I want to take you back to UFC 265 because you're 0-2 in the UFC. A lot of people, hey, what's going on with this guy? Is he worth all the hype? Then you miss weight, and you're fighting a really good fighter in Ode Osborne. Um, and I wonder if kind of there was a monkey taken off your back when you had that flying knee knockout, right? You land that big knee, you end up knocking out Ode. And did that kind of relieve you and maybe make you feel like, okay, I know I belong here?
No, always I knew I belong here. I I watch the fighters. I watch uh the division, and it's not because cocky or arrogant, but they had no my skills. There's no one here to have the skill I had. No one was good as I am. So always I knew I not just belong, but I knew I'm gonna be the champion. But that fight against Ode Osborne, of course, he takes some relief. Always I come back strong after some disaster. So I knew he's gonna come.
After your win over Bruno Silva, the camera was on you a lot in Tampa, going over talking to Dana White. You had a lot to say to Dana that night, and of course he had a lot to say about you afterwards in terms of your performance and everything. What did he tell you when you guys were sitting there? Because I know you were saying, "I want the title shot. I want the title shot next." Did he promise you a win over Royval would do that?
Yes, yes, yes. UFC told me that after this fight, winning is a title. This fight is a title contender, but after the winning, you get what you want because it's the title. Yes.
Tell me a little bit about your take on Royval. I mean, he's a guy that has been like yourself on a really good roll. Had a really big year in 2024. Is coming off a very big win in Edmonton, and so he's looking good as well. What is your take on him, and where do you feel like you can take advantage of him?
Oh, there is many, there is many spots I can take advantage of him. I couldn't be all night talking about uh, the way I can finish him, but I see listen, Brandon Royval is a good fighter. He's he's very skilled. He had uh, he had some skills, some counters games. But I just fought a fighter that I believe is was better than him, and I make look easy. So um, I I don't b- I really I don't underestimate him, but I don't believe he had anything against me. This fight it's definitely a fight I'm not gonna leave for the judge. It's a fighter that I see stylistically I can finish him. I can have one more highlights like my last fight. You know.
Things in these divisions are so interconnected. And, we look at some of the divisions and you look at 135 and you say, who is going to beat Marab after what he has done and who he has already beaten? And you look at 145 and the same thing is true, of Ilia Taporia. I mean, he's gotten off to an unbelievable start in his reign as featherweight champion. So I wonder if that affects you in any way, because if Pantoja decides to go up to maybe challenge Marab and the UFC makes that fight, now all of a sudden you don't get a chance to fight the champion for the belt. You would have to fight for a vacant title. Do you in any way feel like, if you get the title shot, you want it to be against the guy that has won the belt in the ring?
Of course I'm gonna get it, and Pantoja ain't gonna get anything. 135. He's gonna stay in 125, and after the fight, who is gonna be the winner? Because we didn't know. Because he's gonna fight probably Kai Kara France. And Kai Kara France have a really interesting style, and I believe he's match up very well with Pantoja. We will see who's gonna be the champion and who's gonna face me. You know.
Right. The division, even your division too, when you look at it, Royval, Brandon Moreno, yourself, you mentioned Kai, and of course Pantoja, who's been doing really good. And he called out Demetrius Johnson after his last win. I mean, it is very, closely packed at the top. Does that put any pressure on you guys? Like, you can't make a mistake because you know how many good fighters are right there around you?
Of course, no one gonna make mistakes, and in that kind of level, and in that type of number you are in a ranking. You don't want to make mistakes. You don't want to, because we all experience, so we want to make everything perfect and go out there and get the win and get the better chance. So yeah, is a very competitive division right now. It's being a very competitive division right now, and I believe it's gonna be every time more because it's being UFC being bring a lot of young flyweight fighters, and I see some with the good skills. They came, so it's gonna be very interesting this division.
Last, I just want to run past you. Your personality has really shown in the last couple of fights, certainly against Silva, and you were flexing in the ring when they were making the ring announcement and everything. Do you feel like you're starting to gain traction with the fans? Now, are the fans now kind of starting to back you, and are you making some inroads in that regard, and so you can make a little extra money when you fight?
That's not the be honest, that's not my focus, and I never focus on that thing. I just try to be myself. I just try to incorporate everything what is inside me, and I know this sport is about attraction, is about public, a lot of views, a lot of people, but always I do my work, and I believe in my work, everything will come together. I'm never focused on that thing, on fighters or whatever follows or whatever. It's gonna get extra money. I just really uh, focus on my training, my style, my families, and this is the matter. So everything with come is the extra. For me, is the extra is gonna be welcome, but I'm not blind with the that kind of motivation or that kind of things that many people, athletes, fighters, whatever, they focus to be famous, also to be more interact with fans or be something or be good to the fans like them. This is never was my proposed size. I get to the sport. You know, I've been in the sport for a long, long time. I came with my family is a family of sports. We came from my father. He's a former world champion in boxing. So we please and we are adept and fans of hard work. So that's our thing.
Well, let me ask you that: having a father that was a boxer, how did that shape you in terms of your mindset and being able to become a successful fighter yourself?
Different is of course we have an advantage, you know, because always my father put in me and my brothers in spots that we have to earn what we have, and we have to work hard. And we did a lot of tests with him. He's always being very hard and disciplined with us about trainings, about the lifestyle that you choose. So yeah, of course there is some fighters they don't have the fathers they don't have this. Uh, that kind of what I can say that kind of gift to what we fathers that have these fathers as athletes we had. So for me, it's a gift. You know, I'm very grateful. I'm blessed with that.
Well, this young man may follow in his father's footsteps and become a champion one day soon. That is the Starboy, Manel Kape. Manel, appreciate your brother. Good luck to you against Brandon Royval. We will talk to you again soon.
Thank you so much, Kevin. I appreciate
See
so
you
much.
soon.